Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. He's Mike Brenner. I'm Peter Loshak. We are the Odds Couple. We come from SportsbookReview.com. Today is Tuesday, January 31st, College Basketball Odds Couples show. For Tuesday, January 31st, of course, we're joined by Jeff from BMOCWins.com, as we are every Tuesday. A lot of interesting games on the slate tonight, and I'm thinking that I'm seeing a bunch of plays that I'm liking. What do you think, Mike Brenner? How you feeling about this card?
I like the card. It's a little small for me, but I remember hearing you this morning when we were doing the live show. You're like, I might have 8 or 9 picks. And
I'm going to have them. I'm going to throw them all on there.
And I'm like you. I always enjoy bouncing them off a big man and get his opinion. But, yeah, I see a couple spots that I like. I'm probably going to have 3 picks.
3 picks? Yeah. Jeff from BMOCWins.com. How you feel about tonight's card, and how many picks are you going to share with us?
Well, I have 2 picks, and I got to tell you, I hate the card personally.
Really?
I got to tell you, I don't like this card at all. I got a couple games that I'm looking at, but yeah, I think it's one of the worst of the year. Personally.
All right. Well, we'll get your opinions on all these games. Why don't we just go down all the marquee matchups, and then if there's any other picks that we want to give that don't involve those games, we'll throw them on at the end, okay? Because there's a lot of interesting situations. First one, let's talk about Creighton Butler. This one's going to be a pass for me. Obviously, Creighton adjusting to life without their starting point guard and Butler on a revenge spot, but they're given 6.5 points. Ooh. It's going to be a pass for me. Mike Brenner, you have anything to say about that one?
Nope. 10-foot pole for me as well. I'm anxious to see how Creighton. I think Creighton will make the adjustment. All right, they're just too well coached.
Yeah.
But, Butler, revenge factor, I don't know. I'm anxious to hear what Big Man's got to say
Jeff
about that
from BMOCWins.com, what do you think about that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I made it clear without Watson, I'm not interested in Creighton. I did have them Saturday, though, against DePaul. I thought that was a good spot. But, yeah, Butler's really good at home. I just think right now Creighton's not backable against some of these really good teams like they may have been early in the year. Without Maurice Watson, I made it clear several times, they are not at all the same team. He accounted for like 40% of their offense. I would, at home probably go with Butler here. I think they get some revenge here.
Yeah, just 6.5 is a lot of points. All right, then Mississippi State and Ole Miss. This is going to be one of my picks. Obviously, it's an in-state rivalry. The line is headed up. It's 5 or 5.5, but I'm going to go with Mississippi State plus 5.5. They're a young team. They got a lot of youngsters on there, but obviously they're going to be up for this game, and I think they're good enough to keep it close. What do you think, big man?
Yeah, they're well coached, Peter. They've actually been a team that's been on the rise for me this year. They've really gotten better. They're really starting to kind of believe in some things. They've went on the road and played pretty well this year. I think they're going to get up for the Egg Bowl matchup, as they call it here. Ole Miss is a decent team. They have blowout potential at times, but they don't have, again, a consistent score like they've had year after year. I think Mississippi State kind of hangs around here. I think this is a very live game to the Yeah, and I could see a close one here.
And I think Mississippi State's starting to pick up a lot of confidence, and that is, comes obviously from good coaching. I think they're going to be up for that game. That could be a good sharp
All right.
call.
I'm also throwing on the first half at plus 3. Next one, this is a very interesting one, which is a 10-foot pole for me. Maybe you guys have some interesting stuff to say about it. Maryland against Ohio State. Now, Maryland has been just rolling, right? They've covered like 7 or 8 in a row ATS, and they've gotten repeated wins on the road, which is really tough to do. We know how tough that is to do. Here, they opened as a 1.5-point dog at Ohio State, and now it's up to 2.5, so money comes in on Ohio State. Mike Brenner, this is a 10-foot pole for me, but do you have anything to say about this one?
It's a 10-foot pole for me too, Pistol Pete. And, Coach Mata for Ohio State, he knows how to get that team ready for big games like this. Something tells me this could be a trap spot, but then again, I've thought that many a time. But, Big Man, what's your thoughts on that game?
I'll tell you what, it very much could be a trap spot. The money's coming in on Maryland. However, the line's going up in Ohio State's favor. Definitely concerning. Peter, you make good points, though. I mean, this team is 7-1 on the road this year. They're 8-0 as an underdog. I actually got to tell you guys, I think this is a really good team, Maryland. I really think long term. Last year they kind of fizzled out, but they're really well coached out of unfinished business. Ohio State stinks, okay? They're not very good. They struggled the other day with Iowa without Iowa's leading scorer in there. I got to tell you guys, this is going to be a play for me. I'll take the bait. I'm going to ride with Maryland plus the 2.5.
Wow.
Here. Okay. I have to. I can't jump off this train. They've made me money this year. I had them the other day against Minnesota. And the best trend, guys, for me with Maryland, 11-4 against teams that win records over the last 15. They're beating and covering against good teams. They're not just beating the bad teams. They've been good defensively all year. I think they're a very live dog here. It's concerning the moves, but I'm going to take the bait and ride a hot team. I think until the train goes off the tracks, I'm going to go down and fire with them.
Yeah, I couldn't try even to think about talking them off that ledge. And Pete, like you said, they go on the road and win too. So that breeds a hell of a lot of confidence. That's a good team. that's that one. God, it's got me thinking. Damn it.
All right.
man.
Well, we can give you plus 2.5 minus 105. And I will say that I had a very good analysis and read on Maryland in general in the experts roundtable that we used to be on before we got kicked off of it, Mike Brenner. I said that Maryland was a team. They had Melo Trimble and a bunch of young guys around them. And I said this is a classic profile of a team that might start to get much, much better and undervalued around this time, end of January and into February. And that's exactly what has happened.
I recall that, Pete. And you know what? My hat's off to Melo Trimble. He's done a great job of being a leader and really, really showing these younger guys, and they're playing with more confidence. Go ahead.
Guys, I do want to know, Peter, you've talked about Maryland, like you said, several times, and you pointed out that I believe at one point they always had the best player in the court. Melo Trimble's a guard that no one seems to give any respect to.
Yeah.
The guy just puts his team on his back. He gets to the hoop. He gets to the free throw line. They're just a well-coached team. And like I said, last year, I think they bowed out a little early. I think they're the best team in the Big Ten, if you ask me. I really think this team going forward is
okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And he's a real player. He reminds me a lot of Yogi Ferrell, who now is in the NBA making waves as he did last night, put in 19 points. But, this team's dangerous.
Although, as Big Man said, the line movement is concerning. Yeah. Interesting breakdown, guys. All right, next one. Here we go. Georgia at Kentucky. Kentucky off of the loss to Kansas, which is now their second straight-up loss in a row. They're having problems scoring anyway other than in the transition game where they can just out-athleticize people, but their half-court offense is not getting it done.
Nope.
Georgia, though,
defense is hurting too, boy.
2 games ago, Georgia lost at home by 20 to Alabama, so they are a blowoutable team. Is this a bounce-back spot for Kentucky, and are they a good bet to win by more than 16.5? Jeff from BMOCWins.com, what do you think?
Well, they've never lost 3 in a row under John Calipari, so they're in uncharted waters here. They could do it tonight. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to lose at home to Georgia, but Georgia's been a really solid road team, guys. They've covered 7 of 9 on the road. And you've said it, Mike. I mean, the defense has been bad. I mean, they're giving up 77 points a game over the last 5. In those 5, they're 1-4 against the spread. Opponents are shooting 48% against Kentucky. And you look at Georgia. I mean, they have a really great player in Yonte Maton, who John Calipari has come out and said, physically over the years, he has out-toughed a lot of Kentucky kids. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people are making good points that defensively, are they going to get any better? This might be what they are. I don't think you're going to switch these kids up. Many of them will be gone next year. I like Georgia from a rebounding perspective. They shoot free throws at a high level, and J.J. Frazier's a guard that has seen this Kentucky team before. I think this is too many points. I'll back the dog here. I might be, going off the deep end here. This could be an absolute blowout, but I'm not interested in Kentucky right now.
All right. That's a no on Kentucky from Jeff from BMOCWins.com. Mike Renner, what do you think of this game?
Well, and what Big Man said, 2 in a row. They've never lost 3 in a row under Calipari. And I'm going to tell you, Calipari was real calm and cool. But I guarantee you in that locker room, shit is not calm and cool. I got a feeling tonight's a statement game, and I think Georgia's going to be the one to bear the brunt of it. And I do respect their road record because it's phenomenal how they laid that egg against Alabama. All right, the dynamics of being on the road and at home, I don't know. It blows me away. But I think tonight it's just one of those games, the trends, the stats, everything goes out the window. And I think it's put up or shut up time for Kentucky. Bottom line, I see this thing as a big blowout. I want the first half and I want the full game, baby.
Okay, the full game is 16.5. We can give you minus 106. And the full game is 9.5 or 10. We can give you minus 9.5, minus 110. Jeff, did you just say that Georgia is the way you would go, or is that going to be an official pick from you?
That's going to be official.
Oh, boy.
Head-to-head, I love it.
Head-to-head, plus 16.5, minus 106. Wow.
And I'm good with it either way because I think we both got some valid points, and there's just that factor, that Calipari saying, you know what, if we don't blow this freaking team out, all right, and I know they're good on the road, but if we don't blow this freaking team out, we are not a top 1 or a top 10, type of team.
Mike, that was the same rhetoric that I heard from Calipari before the Kansas game. This was he was going to, turn everything around. And listen, Kansas was in an awful state mentally, 2 different ways on Saturday. They still came back from double digits down and almost beat Kentucky in their home floor by double digits. I've heard the same rhetoric time after time with John Calipari that they're going to turn it around, they're going to blow people out. But at the end of the day, they haven't done that. So
I agree. But I think tonight's just that night where the players are going to stand up and go, holy shit. And I think this is a must blowout win game for them. I think I just really feel it is right now. If they barely squeak by and beat this Georgia team, they got some serious issues. Could that happen? Hell yes. Tonight, I just don't think it's going to happen.
All right. Mike Brenner thinking that Calipari is going to make Kentucky great again tonight against Georgia. Georgia, and
Chuck, I love you, Pete.
And Jeff from BMOCwins.com thinks same old, like in Georgia, plus 16.5. All right, let's move on down. Wisconsin at Illinois. This is going to be a pick for me. Wisconsin, obviously, a very, very impressive team, and they often blow Illinois out. But I'm going to take Illinois here as a home dog, plus 7.5, minus 108. Illinois is they're much less bad at home than they are on the road, and I think 7.5 a little bit too much. What do you think, Jeff?
I think you're onto something, Peter. Illinois is a good shooting team at home. They've been able to knock down the three. And look, if you were confident in what you saw out of Wisconsin the other day at Rutgers, I'd like to hear from you. That was pathetic. Had to go to overtime, and they played in the 40s for most of that game. Yeah, I would probably lean Illinois here. Probably a good spot.
Yeah, the Rutgers result in the game, and actually I wanted to tweet that one out. I did really like Rutgers on that one at the very end. That one.
Next time you got to pull that trigger.
I know.
Get those balls.
That one makes me nervous actually because the result of that one makes me like Illinois a little bit less. But I think I still like them at plus 7.5. And then a big handicapping situation here: West Virginia and their huge pressing defense against Iowa State and their very experienced and excellent point guard. Iowa State as a modest home underdog, but it's all over the place. 2.5 all the way up to 4 at the Chris books. Mike Brenner, I know in our morning show you gave the opinion that you're thinking West Virginia's going to have the edge here.
I do, and I know that they're getting ready to face the best point guard they faced all year. This Monty Morris is the real deal. Again, I just got to look at a team that's been more cohesive, than Iowa State. That's more or less a new regime over there. They're playing great. They're good at home, but I think that defense is going to put so much pressure on this Monty Morris. I think Morris might make some mental mistakes that he normally wouldn't. He knows the pressure's on him tonight, and I just think West Virginia is going to get it done full game, and I took it -3, and I like the pick.
All right, but now we can give you actually, so you're going to add it officially?
Make it official.
Well, we're going to give you the Heritage line, which is -2.5, minus 110. Jeff from BMOCwins.com. I'm leaning Iowa State. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Peter, actually. In the Big 12 particularly, I'm interested in a home dog. Unfortunately, last night Oklahoma decided that in the last minute they didn't want to cover the game. But
I got lucky on that one because I was on the other side. So yeah, that was luck.
A hideous beat if you had Oklahoma, by the way. But I'll go with Monty Morris. I think I'm under the belief that he's one of the better point guards in the country. Doesn't turn the ball over frequently, really. Listen, I like West Virginia, particularly at home, but on the road, I'm interested to see where this line goes. So I'm going to kind of wait on that. I get the feeling, West Virginia might be a trendy pick tonight. Not saying that, Mike, you're on a trendy pick, but I'm going to look to grab the Hilton Magic here probably. I'm hoping to get 4, maybe 4.5.
The 4 is available right now at the Chris books.
4 is available now.
Yeah, I would go with Iowa State.
All right, I'm going to go head-to-head with Mike Brenner. I'm going to take Iowa State at +4.
Pull
we can
that
easily
trigger.
both cash.
I love it.
It's all over the place right now. Heritage at 2.5. A bunch of places have 3, and the Chris books still have 4, minus 110. All
and
right.
I just think it's that kind of game, West Virginia. And again, trends or not, it's just Bob Huggins knows, hey, we're a top quality team. This is that time of the year. We got to get our shit straight now.
Right.
We have to win these games on the road.
Is that go ahead,
Mike? By the way, Monty Morris has committed 23 turnovers in 20 games.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying tonight I think the pressure might be on him a little more than normal, and he might just, go off of his norm. He might not, but he might, you know.
All right. Is that it for you, Mike Brenner?
I've got one. I'm going to go with Butler on the first half. I like the revenge factor on it. Yeah.
All right.
Best shop line.
Butler
Pistol.
on the first half. I vaguely agree with that. It's just that Creighton is just a talented team, even without their guard. -3, minus 120
I'm
is what we can
taking it.
give
That's
you.
my last one.
All right. Jeff from BMOCwins.com. Is that it for you?
I'm definitely under a lot more of waiting a little bit later now that February's coming here.
Yeah.
With, a lot of these home dogs are really barking lately. I'm looking at some of these later. I think a couple, like I said, I'm not big into the card tonight, to be honest. But I think going head-to-head against Mike, I'll take my shot with that.
All right. Okay.
I love it, baby.
All right.
Hell
So now I got about 8 or 10 more picks. Should I give them or should we wrap it up? No, why don't I give them?
Give them. Why should
Let's
we wrap
give
it
them.
up?
All right. I only had a chance to crunch about 5 totals, but one of them I think I like enough to give, and that's going to be the over in where is that? Miami, Ohio, and and Bowling Green. Miami, Ohio over Bowling Green. That's going to be 144.5. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's a great pick. I want to point out Bowling Green Saturday was without 5 starters.
Yeah.
They were suspended. They're all back tonight. I I think they're going to really fire against.
Yeah, I'm liking the over in that one. Let's see, what else do we have? Let me just find. Oh yeah, Boston College against Wake Forest. The line is 5.5. It's now up to 6.5 or 7.
How Wake's going to
Obviously,
respond.
yes. How are they going to respond? They're on the road at BC, and BC is just a scrappy team. They've actually had a good ATS record overall in the year, particularly at home. They tend to surprise, I think. And now it's up to 6.5 or 7 at Bookmaker. I'll take that one, BC plus 7.
Going with the dog.
Yeah, Jeff, do you have any reason to talk me off of that or not?
No, that would be a very much good side.
Okay, all right, good to hear, good to hear. Now another one, here we go. This is going to be a little bit risky, but I think I'm willing to do it.
Little.
Temple against Tulane, two teams that are kind of underachieving.
Yeah.
Tulane is a bad team that's underachieving. Temple is a decent team that's underachieving. I'm going to take Tulane at 7.5 or 8. I'll take plus 8 minus 115. Tulane just has to fit. They've been okay for parts of games, and I'm thinking they're going to be decent enough for a big enough part of this game to stay within 8. They're at home.
Yeah.
It's just, is Temple really going to get a blowout? Well, maybe they will because they've been struggling and they're going to be
Temple's
motivated.
been so inconsistent this year, like you said, underachieving big
Jeff,
time.
I know that you in general have been low on Temple this year. What do you think about that pick?
Yeah, I'm really low. They're 1-7 on the road, Peter. I mean, if you fade them against Tulane, this would probably be the time to do it. Yeah, until they prove they can win a game. They've been really, as a fan, I'm extremely disappointed in this squad this year. Fran Dunphy, they have to go.
Yeah, I think so too. I was thinking the same thing, talking with a buddy of mine last week about Dunphy. I think it's time to go.
Mm-hmm. All right, more picks. Tennessee against Auburn. Obviously, Tennessee beat Kentucky, but Auburn has a young team that's kind of scrappy. I think that Auburn at home, pick 'em, might be worth the shot. It's a little bit risky. Tennessee's been improving recently.
Yeah, but I kind of like your thought. That might have just quenched their thirst when they beat Kentucky. This team may just be flying a little bit too high, and Auburn may be just sitting in the right spot.
You want to talk me off of that one, Jeff?
Ever since I was on SportsBet, I gave out Tennessee as a team that I was very low on. They've managed to beat Kentucky, won over the weekend. I'm not interested in Tennessee. I can't seem to get this team right at all.
Right.
I'm going to just pass completely.
All right. Next one. I am going to take DePaul plus 7.5
Pull
against
that
Georgetown.
trigger.
I know Georgetown's beaten both Creighton and Butler, but they might, exhale here a little bit. And DePaul has been, they beat Providence at home.
Yeah,
they took Butler to OT. So I'm going to take DePaul plus 7.5. We're going to talk me off of that one, Jeff.
No, off a road loss where they got embarrassed in against Creighton. Back at home, you mentioned it, Peter. Should Georgetown really be laying this kind of number to anyone?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Especially, you're getting almost 8 points with a home dog. Yeah, I grind Peter good. Peter is feeling it today.
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling it.
This is that time, big man. He gets in the zone right about now, and now we got Punta Cana coming up behind it.
And then one more team I'm liking. It's a little bit close, but I'm liking Colorado State at home against Boise State. I think I'm going to take them on the first half and the full game, both on the money line. They played already in Boise State. It was a tight game. Now Colorado State's going to be at home, and I think they should have the edge. If it was like 4.5, I wouldn't take it, but at Pick'em at about minus 120 or so, I'll take that one. What do you have anything to say about that one, Jeff?
No, big game in this conference. So this conference very anyone can really win it at this point, and these two teams are relevant. Colorado State off a big win at San Diego State. How about that? Now they're back at home. You mentioned it at home here in elevation. I think this could be the right side, Peter. In a coin flip game, go with the home team, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, the elevation makes a difference. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Yep, good point.
All right, and you know what else I'm going to do?
I knew it. Dennis, I knew there wasn't no such thing as just one more.
I want to throw on the first half.
Yeah, why not? What the hell?
Most of the games that I picked. So I'll throw on the first half. Boston College first half, yes. I will take,
You can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them.
Tulane first half, yes, I'll throw that one on there. Auburn first half, sure, I'll throw that one on there. Let's see, DePaul first half, yes. Illinois.
Now, remember what happened yesterday with your first halves and full games. Now, remember that because you would tell me the same damn thing.
It was the favorites that burned me. Now I'm taking all dogs.
Okay.
So I'll throw on Auburn first half, yes. And then Illinois first half, I'll throw that one on, yes, as well.
God,
DePaul,
Pistol.
I'm going to hold off on. I won't take the first half on that one.
Looks like you need some Gatorade
all right,
there.
That's it. I'm done for today.
You need
I'm
a
done
break.
for today, yes. Look, I prepared. I could have we could have done the video and I could have not given all my opinions, but that's why we're making these videos, right?
I like it, Pistol.
All right.
Like Big Man said,
yes.
you kind of. I feel your confidence today.
It was a long video, but I think worth it. And we will. Thanks so much, Jeff from BMOCWins.com. We'll be back tomorrow for the Wednesday card.
Thanks, Big Man.
Thank you, fellas.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.